What's up, you guys? Machuca coming at you, back with YugiBOOM, bringing you my Invoked Windwitch deck profile. Alright, so I'm doing the deck profile on my Windwitch Invoked. I like this deck a lot. It gets plays. It's more anti-meta than like actual, like, you know, go in, start destroying everyone. But yeah, let me get to it and I'll explain everything. So for the main, we run for the Windwitch engine. We use 3 Windwitch Ice Spell, 2 Glass Spell, and 1 Snow Bell. So I was running this at 2 because I would draw it a lot, but it's actually I figured out that it's better to have 1, only because now you don't draw into it as often with at least the tweaks that I've done now. So 1 is fine. Then for the Invoked, it's 3 Alistairs, of course. Searches your invocation and gets you to beef up your boss monsters from hand by pitching him for an extra 1,000. We do run the Spellbook engine in here, so we use 1 Blue Boy. And then compliments of Joe, I decided to try and attack Dark Simorgh. To special summon it, you banish a wind and a dark monster, which the Windwitches are wind and Alistair is actually a dark, so you can summon him and he prevents your opponent from setting cards. So if you're able to set up your board like with the Mechaba and Dark Simorgh, Mechaba will be able to negate anything and Dark Simorgh will be pretty much setting you that your opponent cannot set back row against you. Then we do play the Kaiju Engine, play 1 Gamma Seal, 1 Sticky String, and 1 Dogoran. They're only there because I need, you know, some way of getting over Masterpiece, getting over boss monsters my little guys can't really get over. Or at the same time, there are also different, you know, attributes, water, earth, and fire. I can use it to invocation and make the fire, the wind, the water, you know, all the kaiju, all the invokes, basically. Then for hand traps, I play 2 Effect Veilers and 2 Ash. I was playing 2 Effect and 2 Ghost and Ash, but Ghost is like it's not as viable anymore. You're able to get over stuff still, but it's better to negate the monster, especially if you're facing an Electromite. If you pop it, it still gets its effect to search from the summon, but with Effect Veiler, it doesn't get that search and it doesn't get the other effect. So I'd rather have 2 negates rather than actually popping it. And onto the spells. For my 1-ofs, I play Raigeki, Dark Hole, Kaiju Slumber, and the Monster Reborn. Basically, I'm playing 3 Dark Holes. Like I said, I want to try and make sure my opponent really can't play. I'm the one trying to set up my board, and I'm trying to make sure he can't do anything or she can't do anything. Then I play 2 Cosmic Cyclones. Back row isn't really like that big of a problem. It is sometimes, but that's why on the side I play more back row hate than I do in main. In main, usually I only play 2 Cosmics because eventually everyone starts siding the hate rather than maining it from the very beginning. So I don't have to worry about it, you know, first duel. But second game, I guess I'll side. But for now, just 2 is fine. Then for the spellbooks, 2 Secrets and 3 Knowledge. I was playing only 2 and 2, but it would always come up that eventually I would need the 3rd Knowledge just to help me get there and draw what I need. So I prefer 3 and 2 only because that way, you know, this deck does rely a lot on some draw power, because otherwise if you don't draw what you really need, like the combo pieces or at least the hate pieces, then you're kind of screwed. Then 3 Invocations, same thing. I was only using 2 because we didn't really rely on the invokes coming out. We would mostly rely on like Crystal Wing to come out, but I prefer I have 3 instead, just in case I'm able to draw it first turn instead of trying to go for Crystal Wing. I can make them think I'm playing invokes only, so they'll try and stop my Mechaba, but they won't see Crystal Wing coming out. Then for the last 2, Terraforming and Meltdown. I'm only playing 2 Meltdown because you normally don't really need to have Alistair that fast in hand. You eventually draw into it. and I don't feel like trying to run a third one just so it could be cloggy in my hand. Then for the traps, 1 warning, 1 judgment, and 2 scoldings. Basically just don't let my opponent play, negate everything. I do sometimes lose by myself with these by paying my own life, but when I am actually able to negate something and it pays off, then I'm able to actually win. For the extra deck, we don't really run links. You don't really need links. I was actually teching in proxy and decode, and then I would side cherries just so I could hit links, but now you don't really need it. I decided this deck doesn't really go into links as often. You kind of just want to make your, like I said, your board. So we play 1 Tornado Dragon and 1 Castel. I only play 2 level 4s, and they're both win only because of Glass Spell's effect that you cannot special summon any other monsters except Winds if you use her effect to search. So I rather make sure I'm still able to go for rank 4 that isn't cut off from that restriction. So Castel and Tornado Dragon are fine. Then we do play the Utopia package. Only Utopia and Utopia the Lightning. I'm not using Shining or Utopia Ray. I wanted to, but no room. For the Synchros, we play 1 Winter Bell, 1 Clear Wing, and then 1 Fast Dragon, and 1 Crystal Wing. These 2 are more just for, to get these guys out. Mostly him, but they have their times. This one, however, is actually like another version of him. Really good. It came in clutch so many times when people cherries this right off the bat to know what I'm playing. But then they see this and then they don't have this card, so they have to worry about him more. Then for the invokes, 1 of each attribute, a Purgatrio, Cositas, and Magellanic. Purgatrio is obviously the best one, only because if they have a board and you're able to make him and they have no way of stopping the attacks, you're hitting them for a lot of damage. That's for sure. Magellanic is mostly there just to have a beat stick outside. Cositas, you rarely go into him. He's just there. Like I said, as another attribute. And then since we are playing a lot of wins, we use 2 Invoked Raijin. And then, I don't know if you guys can tell, but that one's misprinted, but this guy, you rarely even you only make him after you run out of Mechabas. If they stop the Mechabas, then you're kind of sitting dead with your invokes, but that's why I decided to have 2 Raijins, because I would always make 1, and then after that I would have nothing. I would have to wait till either they have a different element in the grave, or I'll just be screwed. And then for the last 2, the 2 Mechabas, best card in my deck, at least besides Crystal Wing, but just pitch whatever they're activating. If they're activating a monster, pitch a monster. Especially if you pitch Alistair, it's fine. You can make him stronger, you can negate something, but yeah. Dude, this deck is actually, like I said, it's more of a go second. You don't really want to go first. If you're going first, you kind of want to make sure you're able to set up a board. Otherwise, you will literally lose if you're facing someone that just can spam links. But if you go second, see what they're playing, and you're able to outsmart them and make them, pretty much waste all their hand traps by trying to stop things that you don't really care about, then you're fine. And against the Magicians, I actually have good matchups against Pendulum Magicians against this. The only ones that would probably struggle with is, I believe, ABCs, only because Mechaba is a machine. They could just, in some ABCs, run Cyber Dragon, so they could just either, use Chimera Attack or the Fortress, or the other one, I forget the new guy, but he's pretty broken too. But yeah, so that was the deck profile. Let me know what you guys think, what maybe I should change, what you guys would want to add. But yeah, I so far like the way this deck runs. Like I said, it's more of my not let them play, but it can have its moments that you actually rush them rather than in reverse. So yeah, thank you.